other side of the country being launched to, again, study that. Oh, look at that. That's the diamond ring.
That's right. We're not there, but I feel the energy just watching it.
So this is because of the craters and the peaks and valleys of the moon, we're seeing the last bits that are just getting through, and now we're getting to totality. This is great. So you're starting to see those pink fingers out there kind of sticking out.
Wow. So again, totality here in Mazatlan, Mexico, the first community in North America to experience the moon completely eclipsing the sun. And if you are in Mazatlan right now, it is now safe to remove your eclipse glasses for the next 4 minutes. And you mentioned some of those pink filaments that we're seeing, right? Can you talk us a little bit through that, Kelly?
Yeah, so those pink filaments, because they're helium-rich, that's why they're appearing pink and they're hanging out there. Those could be the start of space weather. So there are lots of tons of material, billions of tons of material that could possibly be one of those explosions for space weather, the reasons why we really study the sun and try to understand how to live with the sun.
Well, can you explain why space weather is important to us here on Earth?
Definitely. So it's not just satellites that are interested in space weather. It's also our power grids, because of those energetic particles coming from those big explosions that can happen in the sun. That could damage our power grids. It could also do things like interfere with GPS signals. And I know we all use our phones to navigate everywhere. So if we didn't have that, that would be a big problem. So we're looking to understand it better so we can all mitigate all those things.
Some of the movement we're seeing here is just our telescope operator adjusting, because again, they needed to make some changes for before totality. Now they're viewing it a different way, and then after totality we might see some shakes there as well. But I really just cannot believe how crisp it is. As we said, it's not a marble, but I mean just the view of it is so crisp in Cleveland. We're still in Mazatlan. Again, what we're seeing is because we needed to adjust the filter. Now that again it's basically like putting on our glasses. The way that you said people on the ground need to put on our glasses, our telescope operators need to protect their own eyes as well as their equipment.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Kelly. I really appreciate your time here with us. It was so fun to learn about the science and actually see the first eclipse come for North America here. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, as you can see, there's a lot to learn about our sun and eclipses. So to explain it all in a really fun way for kids, NASA developed a clever game called Snap It. We have another QR code coming on your screen right now. Just scan that code, or if you're watching us on your phone, all you have to do is screen grab it, press on it later, and you can check out that game. Also the website, if that's easier for you, go.nasa.gov/snapit. Okay, so NASA can predict the total solar eclipse's path to a high degree of accuracy because of a spacecraft that launched nearly 15 years ago. This same spacecraft is now helping our Artemis II astronauts who'll be orbiting the moon next year. NASA's next step in establishing a long-term presence on the moon is sending 4 astronauts to fly around it with the Artemis II mission. Part of the crew's training has been to study images from NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, or LRO. The spacecraft launched in 2009 and continues to use 7 instruments, including a high-resolution camera, to help us learn more about the moon's surface. Because of LRO, we now know more about the moon's topography than any other planetary body in the solar system, including Earth. The Artemis II crew used LRO data and photographs to learn how to identify lunar landmarks they'll see from orbit and to seek out sites of scientific interest, like possible landing spots for future explorers. While helpful for planning Artemis missions, people back here on Earth also use LRO to predict the shape of the moon's shadow, or umbra, during total solar eclipses. The moon's shadow will change throughout the eclipse, depending on the lunar terrain and the elevations of observers on Earth. People may even see what looks like an arc of solar diamonds around the moon as sunlight peeks through lunar features like craters. That's a look at your Artemis Moon Minute. All right, joining us on the host desk now is a familiar face here. Oh, actually, we have, sorry, Snoopy. Oh, I just revealed that it's Snoopy. Well, I just want to wave real quick to the crowd here at the Great Lakes Science Center, just outside of our host desk, waving at us, waving at the camera. I'm waving back at them like they can see me. But I did just spoil the surprise. We do have Snoopy here, our Chief Safety Officer here at NASA, and he's here to tell us how to safely watch the eclipse. So, Snoopy, if we were to watch the eclipse today before totality, totality, what should we do? That's right. You should have your glasses on. That's right.
Well, and what about during totality, Snoopy? Can we take them off then? Yeah, let me help you out here.
Oh, Snoopy, there I can see your shining bright eyes. I love Snoopy. He's so funny. Now, Snoopy, I have to ask you a question, okay? So today we've been polling everybody, asking for the total solar eclipse today, who is the big star of the show, right? Is it the Earth? Is it the Earth? Is it the moon? Is it the sun? Okay, but you have to pick one.
You have to pick one.
You have to pick one. You don't want to pick one?
All of them.
All of them are great? That's right. Snoopy, thank you so much. I know you're super excited to see the total solar eclipse today. We're glad to have you here. Bye. All right, now let's head back over to Tahira in Kerrville, Texas.
All right, thanks, Megan. I mean, what an incredible view from Mazatlan, Mexico.
That was amazing.
And folks, as you can see in your screen right now, we are less than 1 minute away from the eclipse crossing over Torreon, Mexico. Gina, how fast is this moon shadow moving right now?
I mean, it's flying. It's going about 1,900 miles per hour as we're chasing it across the U.S.
That is incredible. And so, you know, in Mazatlan, we were able to see the diamond ring effect.
That's right. It was beautiful.
Beads. So hopefully we'll be able to see that in Torreon right now.
Yeah, we're watching that live feed.
Yes, just to see this sliver crossing over the moon.
That's right. We're getting so close there. Hopefully we'll see that diamond ring too.
Wow. Look at this. And so we're about 10 seconds away.
Here we go.
Let's take it in. Wow. What a spectacular.
It's going into totality.
Wow. There you have it. We are in.
Yep, that diamond ring came through, and we see a little bit of those Bailey beads too as we're looking at it. Those kind of the lights trickling through around the surface of the moon, coming through the peaks and valleys.
So what are we viewing on the left-hand side? This almost pink color effect.
Right, and so as we just heard from the last totality, you know, these pink fingers are popping out a little bit, and those are those solar prominences. They're appearing pink because of the helium rich, but we can see it. Let's focus on the corona here, that glow that we're getting, and we can see basically these streams that are coming out, a lot of that energy and brightness that we do not have the ability to see on a day-to-day basis. So with this total eclipse, we're able to see that corona nice and bright coming through in Torreon.
That is just a magical view. Oh my goodness,
It is.
Gina, okay, and so we've got so many questions coming in online right now from viewers watching this. Our first one is going to be from Justin, who wants to know, you know, right now we are seeing a pretty clear and spectacular view of a total solar eclipse.
Yes.
But Justin wants to know, what will it look like if it's clouded over?
Right, so the view that we're getting right now, you won't be able to see that if it's clouded over, but you will have effects going on, right? You'll get a change in the temperature, so the temperature will drop. It'll still get darker as well.
It's already getting dark here in Kerrville.
I mean, we have some cloud coverage, right? And we're feeling a little extra wind. It's noticeably darker despite the clouds that we have, so you'll get some of those environmental effects, even if it's cloudy where you are.
And so a great follow-up, you know, we've got Halloween Ghoul on YouTube who wants to know, again, will the temperature change during totality, which I know you mentioned that it will get a little bit cooler.
Yes.
But do you know about how many degrees we can expect?
Yeah, you know, it depends on the location, the humidity, multiple factors, but it can change by about 10 degrees or so, depending where you are, maybe even a little bit more than that. And, you know, we're feeling a little chilly kind of where we're sitting compared to what it was earlier. And, I mean, I'm just staring at this view of totality that we have in Torreon.
So we're about halfway through totality right now in Torreon, Mexico. And again, I know folks said that this is almost double totality than 2017, right?
That's right. That's right. And so in 2017, we had a little more than 2 minutes. So we're lucky enough this time that we have over 4 minutes in some places too.
This is so beautiful. And so our next question from Sibel on Instagram wants to know, why is the sun more active right now?
So the sun is more active because we have an 11-year solar cycle. The sun goes from solar maximum to solar minimum, where it's changing its level of activity. Oh, and as you're seeing the screen, so I see in that the bottom right there, we can see that prominence extending out. And as we heard earlier in Mazatlan, you know, that is potentially the beginning of space weather activity. So we're talking about solar maximum. If there's a time to see any of that space weather activity during the total solar eclipse, this is the time to do it. So let's watch that as we go through totality and our other locations too, and maybe we'll be lucky to see some of these features change for us.
That is so beautiful.
It is.
And so, Gina, too, you know, how we're in a higher cycle, solar cycle right now. How many years, you know, is that fluctuation?
Right. The solar cycle goes on for 11 years when it peaks in activity, and that's where we are, where the latest predictions are that we will reach that maximum sometime this year, and then it'll decrease in activity going back down to solar minimum.
And so, Gina, I've got time for one more quick question from Christopher on X, who wants to know which other planets have the best eclipses.
Oh, okay. Well, that's right. So eclipses don't only happen on Earth. Let's talk about Mars, for the fact that Mars does have eclipses when the moon crosses in front of Mars. Mars has 2 moons, and the rovers on the surface have captured images of those.
But no other planet has a view quite like this, right?
Nope, that is special for us. Just the distance and the size of the moon makes it such that it will completely block the sun as it's doing today.
Wow.
And you can see there's that diamond ring effect as we are coming out of totality in Taurion.
What an incredible
Wow, it's a bright one
view.
too. Look at that.
That is a bright one. So is this what, a Bailey's bead? Or
So that's going to be that diamond ring, just how bright it is. Bailey beads are a little bit smaller as they kind of bubble over the surface, but folks who are in that location should have those safety viewing glasses back on so that they can now